look at a couple of books that are out today. Publication date for your new book with Troy Bramston, The Truth About the Palace Letters. And talk us through the new material uncovered as part of the book.
Well, the main thesis of the book, based on the Buckingham Palace letters and the extra material that we've been able to get, is that establishes quite clearly that the Queen and the Palace were not party to the dismissal of Gough Whitlam. The Queen didn't give the green light. The Queen wasn't implicated. The Queen didn't encourage. So this is the really important finding. The other point to make about this is that Kerr's letters are very interesting both for what he says and what he doesn't say. And as the crisis neared its climax, Kerr was particularly careful not to brief the palace on any of the critical decisions he was taking. His plan to dismiss Whitlam in an ambush on the 11th of November, his consultation with the Chief Justice, the advice from the Chief Justice, his plan to install Fraser as a caretaker Prime Minister to advise on an election. None of the really contentious decisions at all Kerr put to the palace. He kept them all for himself. And essentially what happened with the letters is he used the letters to establish the confidence of the palace in his own autonomy so that he could be the main actor, he could be the decision maker, he could be the one calling the shots. And he was set on that course of action right from the start.
And finally, today you launched, John Howard was there, the memoir of what you described as an ordinary bloke, a very ordinary bloke in truth, but the story of someone who's led an extraordinary life, Peter Cosgrove.
That's right, Kieran. I launched Peter Cosgrove's book of memoirs, and I said the main theme of the book was that this was an ordinary bloke who'd led an extraordinary life. The other point I highlighted, though, is that half the book is about how Peter Cosgrove operated as Governor-General. It's about how the modern Governor-General lives and operates and his dealings with the Prime Minister and the Palace. And in particular, Sir Peter addressed the events of 1975 and what John Kerr did. And he made it absolutely clear that he did not agree with Kerr's action with a constitutional dismissal by ambush. And Peter suggested that what should have happened, and I think this is very clear, that this is what he would have done if he'd been Governor-General at the time. He's saying that the Governor-General should have given Gough Whitlam a warning that if he couldn't solve the crisis, then the Governor-General may need to get a new Prime Minister. That would have been an appropriate warning. Well, that is the exact opposite of what John Kerr did, but it coincides with the argument that we've made in our book and the fundamental criticism that we've made of Sir John Kerr as Governor-General. That is, that he dismissed Whitlam in a constitutional ambush without prior warning. The fact that Peter Cosgrove, a former Governor-General, has put this on the record, I think, is enormously significant. The other point to make is that we interviewed Quentin Bryce, former Governor-General, and she also addressed the constitutional role of the Governor-General and had comments to make about Sir John Kerr in 1975, and these comments were of the same ilk. She made it absolutely clear that she felt that Sir John Kerr in 1975 misjudged, miscalculated, and that she, Quentin Bryce, as Governor-General, would have used a very different approach. So we've got both those former Governor-Generals now on the record dissenting from John Kerr.